You have reached the public service. Ask yourself one question. Are you a taker or a maker? As with any situation in life, is your situation taking or making you happy? This is a public service show, and I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk.
And today's subject is a very serious one for all of us, and it's called death care. You want to start with number one? Oh, he's going to joke about it.
No, it's really not a joking matter. So, the big, beautiful bill, that's what it was labeled. The big, destructive bill is more appropriate. I guess it would be a big, beautiful bill if you were a multi-billionaire because they got all kinds of tax cuts. But since the big, beautiful bill was passed by an effective and feckless Congress, there have been 8 million people kicked off of, health care. And I've read in some places, in doing some updated reading, could be as much as 10 million people.
Oh, that's 10 million.
And that was pretty much the entire, the impetus for the bill was to give the billionaires a tax cut. I mean, they weren't shy about it. They didn't try to bullshine us. They just said, we're going to do it anyways, and we don't care what it takes out. And somewhere along the way, I guess they thought that this was okay.
I can't see in the recesses of my mind taking away health care as a good thing. In some aspects, it proves some of the worst in my mind. You don't want to think that way about your fellow humans, but our value system amongst some of us is despicable. And I'm just going to say it. What you value is what you are. If you have no empathy for anyone, then I believe that we should have no empathy for you. Because that's the only way you're going to learn that their value, which really has no intrinsic value if we don't value it, is more important than, life. It's disgusting to me. And he's right. 8 million people have been kicked out, and it's going up every day. It was supposed to be gradual, that we wouldn't notice that everywhere you look in our town, they're starting to open up those 24-hour healthcare places, where you're going to get charged a lot of money. And that's the only place that you can afford to go because hospitals tend to overcharge. And to be honest and fair, when you walk in a hospital, they don't give you a pricing list. So you get the bomb after you get out.
Yeah. I mean, these are urgent because all you can get is emergency care. That's all there's any money left for. So you see these urgent cares. I think it was at least 4 within a 5-mile radius of where we live.
Opening just within weeks.
Yeah.
And that's just another way to scalp American people. Our healthcare system was not the best, but at least it tried to take care of as many of us as it could. So let's move on. We'll revisit this. The 2 biggest killers in the United States and probably around the world, but I can't speak for other nations, is heart disease and diabetes. Heart disease and diabetes tend to go hand in hand. Drinking, smoking, our poor food here. The food in the United States is not even fit for animals anymore. So, that's what we're going to deal with here, is heart disease and diabetes. So, having said that, we're going to discuss some of the costs for medication for these two ailments.
Now that you no longer have health care.
Insurance. Yeah.
Let's see here. So for those 8 million to 10 million people that we're talking about here with no health care, which means that they're paying out of pocket for everything, we're looking at diabetes medications costing on average from $10 to $1,000 a month. Now, putting this in perspective, that $10 is basically the lowest possible medication that you could get for your diabetes. And if it's anything other than just a basic diagnosis or you're new into it, you're going to be paying through the nose. I mean, $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. If you're making minimum wage in most of the states in this country, you're only making $14,000 a year gross. So if you're a diabetic, guess what? You have no place to live, no food, and probably no vehicle, because guess what? You're paying $1,000 a month for diabetes care. Even if we met in the middle at $500, I mean, nobody has that kind of coin.
The $10 generic was a bargain system when they first initially came out with a type of diabetes medication. So it was offered very, very low because that was the deal. We help you guys with money so you can do the research, but you offer back the medication at a low cost. Well, I'll tell you what. I'd like to talk to somebody that gets the $10 medication anymore. They've reformulated the same medication by adding inert things and stuff like that so that they can get more patents. And that's why the same medication with a little bit of just tweaking costs $1,000 now, which is highly unfair. And that's what the pharmaceutical companies just love. They pay people millions of dollars because they know they're going to make billions to reformulate the same medicine that we've had for decades and maybe close to 100 years in some cases.
Yeah.
Just so they can overcharge us. Just had to add that little caveat in there so that you guys understand it's a death game. So, without insurance, the cost of insulin vials costs between $500 and $700 a month. Now, you hear on the news that people are rationing their insulin because that's a lot of money. Most people that are diabetics have to make sure that they stay to regimented food and things like that to keep from having spikes. And sometimes that gets a little expensive as well. So if you've got wound care problems having diabetes, you don't heal so quick. You have to have a certain diet to make sure that your blood sugar doesn't spike. And then on top of that, you're going to have insulin. That costs a lot of money a month. I mean, just a few years back, $500 a month was rents. So if you keep that $700 a month is somebody's rent out there right now for a 1-bedroom in somebody's home or a studio somewhere. So think of it like that. A lot of people don't have this kind of money. But the pharmaceutical companies, I have not seen a single pharmaceutical company lower their prices to help the people they're making money off of. I keep looking for those news stories where it says, Eli Lilly decided to lower the prices for this or some other pharmaceutical company to make sure that people get enough. But you know what I do here? Look at the profits on Wall Street. Eli Lilly's making billions of dollars. But beside that billion, they better start putting a ticker tape on how many people are dying to make sure that Eli Lilly or whatever company gets that. Now, I'm just using that company as a whatever. It might not be them or whatever. Disclaimer here, right?
Yeah.
But there should be a ticker tape right beside it that says this many people died so that you can dance on Wall Street and say that you made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're worth to them, is money. Okay.
That never gets, you never see in the news, that's a great point. I mean, you never see it. There's no bullet point, ticker, whatever, saying, okay, well, in the month of July 2026, we're at 900 people have died because they can't afford this medication.
I challenge anybody that watches our show. Before I forget, my apologies. I challenge you to find just five billionaires that have actually contributed to the plight of American sufferers. Paid medical bills. I've seen a couple do that. Helped out with housing, donated for this, donated for that. I mean, I beg to find a church at this point, and I'm going to say that out loud. I've only seen one church donate, and I live in a city of many churches. I mean, tell me this money, all this money, that's just going up. None of it's coming down.
That's it.
So, I mean, I challenge you, just five. Somebody go to our message boards and go, I know 5 billionaires who have given back without writing it off.
Yeah, big give back.
Without writing it off. And if they do give back, make sure it's not within their charity limits.
Yeah.
And I'll explain what I mean by charity limits. Every large corporation can give away a certain amount of money, and 100% of it is a write-off. If they give over that, it's not a write-off, so it's true charity. Okay, I'm done on my squawk box here.
No, that needs to be pointed out. Yeah. Because it doesn't count if they're not giving it out. Yeah, if they're just giving the daily recommended or whatever that they're allowed, no.
To get 100% back. That's not charity. I mean, and when you're donating to these companies that say, oh, we're collecting for this and we're collecting for that, let me give you a little warning here. Every dime you give them, they get to write off, not you.
Yeah, if you people walking up at the Walmart checkout, hey, would you like to round up to the next one? But they put their name on that, not yours.
And they get to write it off. Because you know how they get to write it off? Well, we had to have our employees collect it.
Yeah, the employees.
That's how they get to write it off.
Would you like to round up? Ooh, collection.
That's exactly right. So, they're not really charitable either. You'd be better off giving directly to the charity. So, here I go on my soapbox.
No. This is the point of this.
This is yours, dear.
Let's see here. Okay, so as we were talking about heart disease and diabetes, heart disease. Well, one of the very first things they do to treat heart disease, or one of the many items, is blood thinners. And if you are stuck having to buy a brand name, you're looking at $500 to $800 a month, with the generic being $150 to $250 a month, $150 to $250. Now, I don't know about you, but the generic is bad enough. The generic people can't afford it. I mean, again, now we're looking at that's $6,000. Yeah, roughly what? $3,000 a year in blood thinners, just blood thinners. And if you're on this kind of stuff, this is just one of probably multiple medications that you're taking.
That's exactly right.
And it all combines. And as Sandra mentioned, these people, they make a minor modification in the
formulation of the drugs, yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's no longer generic. It's back to being brand name, and they're
brand new,
ripping you off. And hello, we pay for most of this development. These people aren't coming out of pocket for the development of this. Well, you seriously? Like, these people are going to pay to try and heal poor sick people? Yeah, that's not happening.
You know what's disgusting? I mean, come on. You chemists out there, I know you have to eat too, but look what you're doing. Where's your morality? Where's your empathy? We've lost that in a segment of our population where people applaud doing the wrong thing. I mean, that's just applauded all over the place now. Yay, he stole. Yay, he did this. Yay, he's done that. All of these horrible things. And I'm sitting back going, you know what? I used to get my butt whooped if I'd have done even 1% of 1% of some of the things that these people were doing. I had moral parents and used the word moral. We need to bring that back. These people are devoid of morals. You're reformulating this. You know that people have to pay more money just to survive. And you know that when they slap that price tag on it, it is unaffordable. You knew that when you reformulated it.
It was unaffordable before they reformulated it.
Exactly.
Going in eyes wide open.
Astronomical now. So the same thing applies with heart medication, is usually it goes along with cholesterol. So the Repatha cholesterol medication, we're just using some. I'm sure there's some. They're different priced differently, but we're just using one. And it costs between $500 to $600 a month. So your person who is taking heart medication would probably be on cholesterol medication as well. And since they no longer have health insurance, you're talking about $1,200 or more a month just for 2 medications. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's rent for a house and a lot of other food and stuff like that. That's disgusting. So now that they've taken away the health care, and I heard someone say, I don't care what the American people need or want. We're going to find a lot of people who are going to die and who are dying because they're probably using quarters and half the amount of medication that their doctors have prescribed because they can't afford it. We're the billionaires out there going, hey, I'll buy this medication and mark it down. The only billionaire I heard that's trying to lower is Mark Cuban, I believe. Yeah. I believe he has an online pharmacy where he's trying to get things wholesale for the United. Like he's the only one. But you remember, Mark Cuban came from a poor family. But I don't know if that's just it, because a lot of other bad guys did too. I think it's your character. 100%.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, you just really can't take it with you when you die. The money stays here. Well, we're about to really pull the covers back because if you thought those were expensive,
don't get cancer.
You haven't seen anything yet. That's right. Yeah, definitely don't get cancer. In other words, don't drink the water.
Don't eat the food.
Don't eat the food because
don't get out in the sun.
Blood cancer drugs. Blood cancer. That's things like leukemia. Mm-hmm. How's $14,900 a month sound to you for cancer drugs, for leukemia, blood-borne cancer? I mean,
there are multiple types of blood-borne cancers, but he's just using one, for instance. And $14,900 a month, as he said, that's $15,000. Okay? So
a month. I mean,
that's somebody's half of their annual salary. Or in some states, that's all of their annual salary.
Yeah, that's their gross. That's more than their gross annual. If you are $7.25
red states
an hour, that is $900 more than you gross.
Your annual salary.
Your annual salary.
Yearly, people.
And this is what they're charging a month. A month. So if you are making $7.25 an hour, and do not have health insurance, because guess what? You don't, because in this country, I could get into the details of why we have employer-based health care, but that's another topic. You're done. If you get cancer, you might as well just chalk it up to the end of your life, because you can't afford it, and they're certainly not going to give it to you for free.
Crowdfunding, that's how people survive in this country.
Yeah.
Is they go on and they ask people to help them. And we do, because we know that we could be next. We help and we do all that we can to try to lift each other up, even though every single working person in the United States pays taxes. And every single working person deserves to have their government lift them up. Now, to all you naysayers out there who said they don't want universal health care, screw you. You know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Who do you think you are? We all pay taxes here. And if the majority of us want some of our money to support our lives, think about that. Our lives? That's way more important than individuals holding on to more money than they can ever use. Your value system is wrong. You want to look at other people as a burden to you. I look at other people as an asset. Our differences make us wonderful. Our differences make us strong. Now, not caring about each other is the problem here. That's why this show is happening, because the majority of the people don't care. So all of you don't cares, please step aside while the rest of us take care of each other.
Yeah, get out. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm on my rant again.
I'm going to kind of touch base at the end of this back to the conversations I've had with two different people about their motivation behind not wanting to have universal health care in this country. But
number 8 is the cancer that afflicts all women, most women, it's breast cancer. And men can occasionally get it as well. So I cannot leave them out.
Mm-hmm.
Breast cancer drugs without the offset of insurance costs $13,000 to $14,500 a month.
Jeez.
Now the generic brands, sorry, I'm having a hard time, my mouth's so dry, cost $4,000 to $6,000 a month.
Ugh.
You can get a car for $6,000. Think about that. It's not a new one. You can get a used car for $6,000. Who the hell, excuse my language, what company has the audacity to charge this much money for breast cancer? Where's your morality? How much money do you need, shareholders?
They need it all.
That's who I'm talking to. You shareholders of all these drug companies. You know what happened to the United Healthcare CEO? You think that's something? You keep killing all. It's going to get bad out here. And then you're going to beg us to help you. And we're going to say, oh, our cholesterol medication was $600 a month. Our blood thinner were, $9,000. Breast cancer was, all that money that you collected, just pile it up in front of you and pray that nobody walks through it and does things to you that you don't care happens to us. And I'm not advocating for that. But I'm just saying that if you live by the sword, you can die by the sword.
They always act shocked. It's like everybody.
It's true. High five. Yes, they do.
Luigi, what's his
Yes,
bucket?
that's who I was leaning towards.
Whacked the U.S. healthcare CEO.
Mm-hmm, he sure did.
You know what I haven't heard? Why? He didn't just wake up one day and said.
He did say why. They said why. Because he had friends that had medical problems that were denied by this company. And as well as he was. But what happened after the shooting was really, really telling. They dropped the hard numbers on how many people that United Healthcare lets die every year from denial of coverage. And it was a lot of people.
Legal murder.
You pay your premiums, and somebody sits in a room and goes, I don't want to give them money.
Legal murder. And as Sandra mentioned previously, hey, you people that work for these people, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Hey, we get it.
You
You're
need
gonna
to
put food
eat.
on the table, but are you okay with this? Do you go to work every single day and then go deny tens of thousands of people coverage across the board so you can hit some magic number, so you might get a few bucks bonus at the end of the month or year? I mean, do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel good about the job you're doing? Do you feel good about screwing over people? You know, I'm a firm believer that if enough people actually put their foot down and said, you know what, we're not going to work for you. We're not going, and by the way, we're not going to let anybody work for you.
You know, everything is so expensive now that people are truly intimidated about not losing. They don't want to lose their jobs because, you know, it's hard to find another one. I mean, we get you. And you've got bills up the yin-yang. We've got them too, right? But at what point do we stop letting these companies control us? Somebody has to stand up and say it's enough, right? You've got plenty of money. And if we don't do it collectively and this gets out of control, you're just a slave to your job. And somehow, some way, I mean, how could you sleep at night knowing that you're saying certain people have to die? And they do movies about this all the time. It was The Wolves of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I mean, where they just would chop the legs off of poor investors and stuff and not have any empathy about it. Wow. I mean, to walk through life destroying people's lives and not feeling a thing. What is that called? Psychopath?
Psychopath.
Sociopath? You know, those clinical terms?
Scumbag path is what.
Right?
Yeah.
And I like it when finally the rubber meets the road and somebody gets taken down and then the group will stand over there, oh, I was with them and all this other stuff. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't with them. And I understand, like we said, that you need to eat and stuff like that. But
It's like, oh my God, the United Healthcare, see, you got whacked. I'm surprised it wasn't a gang of people that took him apart.
I'm telling you. So
It's coming. You people think you can hide. You're not going to be able to hide. Everybody knows where you live. Everybody knows where you're at. Everybody knows. And
he's not advocating
I'm
for
not
that.
advocating for that, but what I'm saying is that you're eventually going to push
Things
people
happen.
to a point.
Yeah.
I mean, go read about the French Revolution.
We're
Figure
heading
it out.
there.
No, we're getting there close.
Right.
Sit down because there's more nastiness as far as costs go. You know, don't get prostate cancer because those drug costs are $13,000 a month.
Prostate is men.
I
Just in case somebody doesn't know. Not everybody knows.
$13,000 a month. Yet again, something that is more expensive than most people earn in a year. Explain this to me. And you know you've made your money back 1,000,000-fold by this point. I mean, a lot of these drugs have been around for years, decades. Mm-hmm. And so, are we still paying for the development of these things? I don't think so. Shut up.
No, we're not.
Nobody's that stupid. I mean, well, I guess I better take that back. There are some people who are that gullible, but most of us, yeah, we're not.
No, they're not still formulating these drugs. These drugs have been on the market for decades. It's just about profits. That's it.
Money.
You know, how many people will you kill just to put money in your pocket?
How many?
And
people
I'd
do you
like
kill?
to, yeah. How many people will you kill for it? It's just, here we have number 10 to round out the cancer drugs is skin cancer. And skin cancer costs vary because you could have stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stage 1, they'll remove it and maybe radiate it or something. That's like $500. But if you get into stage 3, 4, and 5, you're talking about $20,000 a month or more, because all of those, tags and skin cancers have to be removed, and they have to be removed deeply because they have to get the root and anything. So you're going to be scarred up a lot. And then they're probably going to be chemo drugs, and that's a whole nother cost there. So like he said, if you don't want cancer, don't eat the food, don't breathe the air, do not go outside and sit in the sun, and
Don't drink the
on and
water.
on, don't drink the water. I mean, where are we?
Don't do anything. Basically, find yourself a plastic bubble, climb inside, and actually, that really won't matter because you still have to eat. And I mean, throw corn off the list because that's all GMO. Mm-hmm. The birds won't even touch corn. I mean, you people who like corn, birds won't even eat it. Animals won't eat it. I mean, dogs will eat rubber balls, balloons, rocks. You know what they won't touch? Corn. Mm-hmm. And I mean, everything, all of this, our whole environment is an after effect of all this money being poured into a fraction of the population's hands. And when I say fraction, I mean it's so infinitesimal that it doesn't even warrant putting a number on it. That's how few people are making all this money. It's just crazy, insane. And for whatever reason, and I'm just the United States, it's like there's this mindset that has permeated or been beaten into people or it's just been talked over and over again is these, screw everybody else, me, selfish, it's all me, I don't care about anybody, gimme. Yeah. And we didn't get here with that mindset. We didn't get this far. Had we had that mindset the last 3,000 years, we wouldn't be here.
I agree. I don't know when we became selfish. I don't know if it was more of the fact that a lot of people are raised on the internet, so they have blinders on when it comes to other people's needs and feelings. For some reason, not all, but there is a large segment out there that are like that. It's like, oh no, I focused this. And somehow we lost them. And we're going to have to get them back. Because this is a global society, people. And even though you don't want to see your neighbors, they're still there. They're still there. And some point, we're all going to have to figure this out. And if by chance you think that you can solve everything that you need alone, we will drop you in the middle of a desert. And you tell me then if you needed somebody else. Can you survive? If it's only you don't need us.
Can I answer that question? They will die a very horrible death.
But they don't need us because it's all about them, right? And that's the point. I mean, you have to really drum in the points with these people because somehow they can't see anybody but themselves. They can only see their own plate, their own cup, their own silverware, and their own needs. And the rest of us are out here advocating for each other, going, we're a global society. We all need food. We all need water. We only have 4 different blood types or whatever, right? And we all bleed. We all die. We all cry.
Very simple. Well said. Well said.
So, I have to come back to the big, beautiful bill. That's the 3 B's of BBB bull crap. You people who voted for that bill, and I'm going to do something that I know I don't normally do. You people are the shit that shit shits.
I agree.
You have a nerve to call yourself a human being. A nerve. You have no right to stand on the United States tax money and claim to care. You have no right to eat our food as you take a wage for what you've done. You have no right to breathe the air of American people. You have no right to carry our flags. You have no right to so-called honor our dead. You are creating the dead. So again, I am calling you the shit that shit shits.
I can't argue with that. Well said. Well said.
That's why you married me.
That's right. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. I'm sick and tired of the selfish, whiny babies boo-hooing, me. I'm tired of the wannabe messiahs. I'm tired
that
of
take money and don't help anybody.
I know it all and you don't know jack, and I'm the only one with the bigliest brain that can figure anything out, and you just can go down the list. And you know, as a student of history, you ought to thank your lucky stars that you don't live in a country that's smaller like France or Spain. I mean, where people can get you. When your entire constituency lives within like an hour or two as opposed to days away. Because I think we'd have a very different visceral reaction if the whole country was, say, like the size of Nebraska. You'd be in you'd be in a deep mess.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You benefit from the fact that we are as large geographically as we are, because I'm going to tell you right now, January 6th, you losers, that will be nothing compared to what would come after you had we live in something that's a little more accessible.
What was that movie recently that I saw? It was like Out of Time. Wasn't that it? Where they had to have the time to on their little body clocks.
Yeah, the Justin Timberlake.
It's a movie.
Out of Time, something like that.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of give you an example of where they would like us to head. Out of Time is Justin Timberlake did a fabulous job, and other actors and actresses. But in this movie, you're born with a time clock in your body. And the only way that you can continue to live is if you work to buy time. Meanwhile, there's two classes. The wealthy, who don't have to do anything, they're just born with 1,000,000 years of time. But the poor, once they hit 18, get something like 30 days of time.
Yeah, they get a set number.
That's it. But after that, you have to work. And each day you get like 10 hours or 5 hours. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
Until you go back to work. That's what they would like us to do. You have to work or you die. And when you go, your clock stops, wherever you are, when it hits zero, your life ends there. No matter what you're doing or saying, or close on, close off, it's over. That's what it looks like to me. It's an extreme, what I'm trying to say. Maybe you should see the movie. Just Google Justin Timberlake. I'm giving him a plug because he did a great job in it. And just take a look at that, and you'll see how indifferent the rich are. And there's a lot of comparisons with today.
Oh my God, there's just a ton of movies out there.
Well, that's the only one I can remember.
I'm just saying, this has been going on for centuries.
Yeah, we don't
The
change.
rich think that they are here to
Rule
over us, and we are here for their pleasure and benefit. And, they may have been able to get away with that 1400s, 1600s, 70. Not now. Not when, Ranjit Deepka in the middle of India can have a cell phone and know exactly what's going on here in 3 seconds, and vice versa. We're connected. Everybody is tapped into everybody. This is a global, you hear the term global economy, but nobody's getting by without the other, period. From country to country to country. And I'm here to tell you, I love America. I'm an American. I'm a veteran. But make no mistake, there is nothing special about being an American over anybody else in any of these other countries. I'm no better than some person eking out a living in India or in China or in England. They're no better than us eking out a living here. But I'll tell you one thing that we all are is we're all equal human beings. And I don't give a crap what anybody else says that tries to minimize or put down or belittle another individual. It's not happening.
It's, look at it this way. Sometimes I look at it like I watch a show or something, and I think to myself, what if money had no value? These people that stand over us, what would they be good for? Look at the people that have all the power. Is it power? Is it knowledge? Do they have the knowledge to do all the things? Or did they buy the knowledge, the creativity? You see, that's what you need to look at. When I see Elon Musk talk about, his battery cells, we all have to remember Elon Musk bought the patent. Another man designed those batteries. Tesla. His name was Tesla, not Musk. So what would Musk do? I don't know. I hear he makes a lot of babies with lots of women. But what would his value be if he had no money?
Well,
what would any of their values be? Wall Street, all those traders, all those people that sit around and make life's decisions for us. What would they be able to create? Wood shop? What could they make? Are they engineers, electricians, inventors? That's how you need to look at them. Look at their value, because they certainly judge us by ours. We're not worth anything. Let's lay everybody off. Can you do this? Can you? Oh, but I don't want to pay you very much for that. So we're judged every day by our value.
Oh, 100%.
So your boss, or these billionaire trillionaires, sometimes they get lucky and they buy into a company.
They all get lucky. You don't get that kind of bread unless there is a tremendous amount of luck.
I don't know. I'm going to question that. You know what I question? Haven't they changed the game to do things illegally? It's not always luck. It's
true.
Not always luck. A lot of times
part.
It's a lot of scamming and scheming and lying and cheating. I know somebody who has 34 felonies. I don't know him personally, thank God. He's still stealing money.
Yeah.
So if we look at it like that, is that luck?
No.
Or is that criminality?
That's criminality. That's true.
And a bunch of lawyers, if I had a bunch of lawyers and I was doing the wrong thing, like round up, and then I go to the Supreme Court, who doesn't care about human life, and my lawyers sit there and go, hey, we told him it causes cancer, so what?
Yeah, they're peons. They don't matter. They can die in the thousands
Is that luck?
and millions.
Wait, I'm back. Is that luck?
No, it's not.
So even though luck does play a role in some people, and you're right, but nowadays, I think it's just a lot of criminality.
Well,
the stock market, insider trading, my God, if being an insider trading meant that you literally were physically tied to somebody,
Mhm.
they'd all be a big ball of human rotting flesh.
Yes.
Rotting, foul flesh. Oops, sorry.
You know,
It's true, though.
I often sit around and I muse and I wonder, these people, you're outnumbered, by the way. And not just by, I mean, it would be like throwing a grain of sand in the Pacific Ocean. That's how vastly you're outnumbered. And they really do. And this is the funny thing, because they're such nasty individuals, but they really bank on the good nature and empathetic feelings that these people have to ensure they don't come hunt you down and nail you to a wall.
But that's not working anymore.
Well, it's not now because people are starving to death.
The minute there's a protest, that's a rebuke. The minute that millions of people go out in the streets and go, we've had enough, that's a rebuke. That's a no. And in our country, we use the ballot box. And after that, if things go the way of the evil, then you think those protests are going to be, I think those are going to be small protests compared to what happens next. I mean, you can hear the grumblings, and I'm an old lady, but I'm getting out there too. I love our Constitution, and I love the freedoms that the United States used to offer. And I know I am going to be standing in the best company ever. People that care about other people, people that are intelligent, empathetic, and want a world where it's inclusive and we lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. So I'll stand with those people any day of the year, week, month.
What a world it would be if we...
Yeah. You know, you and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah,
we talk about, you know, when people like me no longer have empathy for certain people, we're in trouble. Because I care. But I've gotten to a point now where it is impossible to care for the careless. People that care less about us. It is impossible for me to.
Yeah, if you don't give a hoot about us, we can reciprocate. And she's not kidding. She has said multiple times, I'm telling you, we'll watch the news or we'll watch something or we'll be reading something and she'll break out in tears because she is like, wow, she's reading a story or hearing or listening to a story about the plight of somebody. That's becoming less and less because of what millions of people seem to want to do to the rest of us. Right. And I don't know what to tell you people. You people who seem to think that everybody on this planet is here for your enjoyment, your pleasure, and to fill your bellies with food and to provide your homes with electricity and to provide your household with super-duper expensive cars and vehicles and planes and things that one of could feed an entire city, and yet you get... One of the things that always blew me away is when the one Koch brother died and people were dancing in the streets and the living brother was like stunned. Why? Oh, why? I mean...
Well, let's give a little preface of who the Koch brothers are. They have a long history of wanting to tear down the Constitution of the United States and to disenfranchise women, minorities, and the same stuff we're dealing with now. Well, for some reason, they isolated themselves, just like my spouse says. And they had this ideology that they were beloved. Well, if you're that much,
Seriously.
it's true. Well, if you have that much money and you have a bunch of people around you, yes, men, of course you're going to think you're beloved. Until one of you passes away, and there are people standing outside of your 100-story building, going, "Yay, it's a good start," and saying, "I hope you die next." He was shocked, the remaining brother. And I'm like, oh, you lived in your ivory tower for so long that you have no clue that you aren't cared for. And I thought that was a very fitting lesson for him, because it was a lesson for him. He needed to see what his effect on his country was.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And good call bringing him up. I'm doing the high five all day tonight.
Here's another one.
Okay, babe.
Sorry about that noise.
Yeah, he's right.
It's like, I hear the talking heads on the news stations and stuff going, oh, well, people like Donald Trump, they've been raised with a silver spoon and they don't know what the rest of us. Why is it that I, as an average citizen, have to educate myself on the issues, the policies, the laws, grocery prices, gas prices, you name it? Why do we? Yet these people get a pass. Oh, they don't understand what the rest of us go through. Well, you want to know what? Boo-hoo. Get with the program. You can understand. 5 minutes of reading. It's called a choice. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear, oh, they were born and raised in the lap of luxury, so they have no idea. Shut up.
Wait a minute. You are so right.
But
you know what? Why is it? Here's my argument. You were raised with everything. So money makes you not care. So because you have everything, that gives you the right to not care about others. Okay, so then let's play mirror. Since you were born with all this money, you don't care about others, and you expect us to care about you? We're playing mirror here. You get what you give. 2 negatives make a positive. See? And that's all I'm advocating for. How you treat people is how you should be treated. Live by the sword, die by the sword, right?
Boy, if we really employed an eye for an eye, or
what
was it that the Bible thumpers like to do? Was it the golden rule?
Eye for, I don't know.
Do unto others as you would have done unto you. And I'm going to tell you right now.
It's time for your Bibles.
You think Donald Trump would ever survive 1/1,000,000th of the crap he's done to other people? He didn't even have to be in this country. I'll pick a country in the middle of nowhere and go, what has Donald Trump done to you? We're going to go get him and bring him to
There's
you.
not
so
just
that
him.
You can do whatever.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot. He's right. There's a lot of people who deserve that kind of experience, let's just say. I'm at a point where I think they need extremes. Like I said, the rich are so they don't have to care, so we don't have to care. But why is it that they demand we care? Why is it that they float money in your face and say that I'm a better person because I have this? You take the money away and they're just another floating cesspool, right? Because the money is some sort of shield, and a lot of people go, okay, they're rich. But there's a lot of us that go, but do they have character? Do they have honor? There's a billionaire in Chicago. Who cares? I don't know what his name is.
J.B. Pritzker.
There you go. He cares. But they're so few and far between. I was just asking Kirk the other day. I said, where are all the good doers. You know, they have all this money. Where are all the do-gooders? Where are they? Right? Like I asked earlier in the show.
Yep.
Just give me 5.
I can't
give
think
me
of the
5
people
that are helping.
But
see what it does? It makes you not care. You have so much money that you don't give a crap about anybody else. That's what makes me mad. That's what tells me that what you're acquiring is bad. You're not improving your lives or the lives of anyone else. You're shutting yourself off to the suffering you're causing. That's what you're doing. The blinders again, just like the young ones. You don't see anything. Just your own needs, your own plate, your own silverware, your own drink.
I agree with you. There's one group of individuals that chaps me even more than that. It's the poor.
I know.
Fools
who follow. I know.
I know.
Who worship them.
Think that they're great and you're a scumbag for whining about it. You're poor too. They're wiping you out. They're taking your opportunities. They're taking money out of your pocket and yet you are so gullible and stupid that you throw the rest of us under the bus while trying to lick
their boots.
I just can't. That's the one thing. Not only does it anger me to no end, but it just blows my noodle. It just perplexes me as you're a scratch in the dirt nobody, yet you got their back and not ours.
It's a lack of education. And that's why they cut the entire education department, because then you won't know you're not eating. I guess if they put air on your plate, you'd believe that was filet mignon. I don't know. All I know is there's a bell curve.
The best
and these people fall way low on the bell curve. And I believe that in their minds, they think if they advocate for all of these millionaires that somehow it's going to trickle down and on their table until it's too late. And they're sitting here, like I saw on television, going, I made a mistake. This is hurting me. Right. All of this cutting health care, cutting education, you were dangled racism. They dangled racism in front of your face and said, look, this is what we're going to clean up. We're going to make this world one color. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, while you were watching the racism over here, they were picking your pocket, telling you you're not going to have education. You're not going to have food. You're not going to have health care. You're not going to have, and then you start yelling and you go, no, look, here's racism. Look over here. Look over here. Look over here. And some of you kept following, but others went, oops. This is not what I signed on for. I signed on for something else. I was not supposed to be affected by your decision making because I voted for this. Racism. But the real stuff was over here, which was taking all of our money, taking all of our power, taking everything away from us, before you could complain, and understand that they were going to break the Constitution, break the courts, break your rights, and take everything away from you, and then you were going to be stuck in your house going, how the heck did this happen? Then you have to go back to point A. Look over here. Look over here. That's what you signed up for. So you have to take responsibility for your actions. Then you'll learn that you need to be over here too. Because some of you are still failing the test. But not a lot, but some of you are.
Well, many of them are stuck in the spiral of death care now.
That's exactly right.
And we'll see if you actually survive.
That's right.
Good show.
It was a really good show. My name is Sandra, and this has been a public service show. And my partner is...
I'm Kirk, and you can reach us at thepublicservice.org. And there's links there to our YouTube site and the message board. Come in, chime, join in the conversation.
Right. And stay as healthy as you can. I know it's expensive out there. You know, if you've got to go public and get money for health care, please do. We'll donate if we can.
Yep.
You have been watching a public service show. America is part of a global community. Sandra and I are well aware that the American experience had the hope for freedom. America isn't perfect by any means, and we are currently having our freedoms tested. Here at the Public Service Show, we're going to look at how and why we're at this point in America.